Hello. Good morning to you. You live in a shoe. It's not the morning though. It's 1:14 in the morning. Well, I guess it is the morning. I just got off the live stream a little while, about an hour ago. Finally did a live stream. It was so much fun. And let's see. And then I was watching an episode of Most Popular Girls in High School, and Alex was watching that Politico Tropico guy on Instagram and trying to explain to me like what the videos were about. And we were just laying there with the dogs talking and stuff. He was like, he was watching some TV show. He had it like paused, and he was just like watching all that kind of stuff. But anyway, it's been a good day. Feels like it's been a really long day. Like, none of the days since I've been back has felt like what they were. Like, Monday seemed like a Friday, you know, and then like yesterday seemed like a Monday, and today seemed like didn't seem like a weekend. We had all this stuff that we were supposed to do this weekend. Alex was supposed to pick up his mom from the airport at 5 a.m. tomorrow morning, but he talked to his brother Carlos, and Carlos is going to pick her up from the airport. And then we had a housewarming party we were supposed to go to tomorrow night, and Alex told me it got canceled because I guess their daughter has been sick for the last couple days, so we're not going to that anymore. So we don't really have anything to do this weekend, which is really nice, especially for him because he's worked so hard this week. And yeah, so we're gonna go we're both gonna sleep in tomorrow, and then we're going to because I haven't been sleeping in at all, and then we're gonna get a late lunch somewhere, and then we're going to I was thinking like maybe we'll call Melissa and Jason and see if they want to do a double date with us again, because we always have so much fun doing little double dates with them. But they're leaving for Florida tomorrow, I forgot. And so we are gonna get like a late lunch, and then I was thinking like when I left, I was like, well, maybe I'll see if Alex wants to do like, I have all those masks, if he wants to do like masks or facials, and then maybe possibly like watch a movie or something, because we haven't just hung out and watched a movie in so long. We used to go to Walmart a lot and like buy DVDs like of new movies that were out, and we would like sit in the bed upstairs with all the dogs like in the summer. We usually do that in the summer. We open the windows and we watch movies and stuff, and then lay out at the pool the next day. But we haven't done it in a while. It's kind of more of a summer thing. I don't know why it's more of a summer thing. I think it was not dictated by seasons, but it is. And a good friend of ours had her baby today. So it was 5 weeks early. So she was in ICU. And then she got, because she had some kind of hypertension. I don't know anything else about that. But so they're moving her tonight or tomorrow morning to a regular room. So we'll probably go and visit her sometime this weekend too, and take a little gift over there. I'm so excited for her. She's wanted a baby for so long, you know? And this is her second marriage, and in her first marriage, they tried really, really hard to get pregnant, and they just couldn't get pregnant. And then this time, she tried really hard, and it's been like a struggle. And so I'm so happy for her. And the baby is beautiful, and she was posting pictures. It was really exciting to see. There is just something so amazing about childbirth, you know? I remember like years and years ago, like maybe when I was in my 20s, I had a conversation with my dad about like, you know, soul. Like, does he believe that there's a soul, you know, and that we have a soul and that kind of stuff. And my dad said to me that as a doctor, there are two moments that you really realize that there is something there in the body. And the first moment is when a baby is born, and the second moment is when a person passes away. And he said, you know, when a baby is born, you can tell, like, in that moment, it's just like that life is so powerful, and that when somebody passes away, he's like, it's almost like you can kind of like see it leave them. And there's so much truth to that, you know, like even with my mom and her passing, it's like, it's very true. And it's almost kind of something you can't really explain unless you're there. But I'm very much a believer in soul. I don't want to heat my camera up, but it is so cold outside. It has been snowing today, you guys. In the middle of April, it's been snowing. So I got up today and I wrote all day today. And then I took a nap this afternoon with the dogs. It was really nice. I haven't like taken a nap in the afternoon in a while, and I did that. I got a bagel at Einstein Bagels, and I ate the bagel, and I watched Untucked on RuPaul's Drag Race, and then I took a nap with the dogs. I took kind of a long nap, actually. I laid down at probably like 4:15, and I slept till like 6:30. And then I got up and I filmed my videos, and that took me to like, well, I got up and I took a shower, and I like washed my hair with the honey shampoo from Lush, which I love. It's called Fairly Traded Honey. I mean, it feels like you're putting honey in your hair. It smells so good. And then somebody had recommended, and she was in my live stream tonight. I'm sorry I can't remember your name, but she had recommended to me the conditioner from Lush called American Cream. So I got that as well, and used that, and then lotioned up with my Lush body lotion. I'm kind of addicted to that store now. It already shut off. I cannot believe it. I mean, it was not even like 10 minutes long. Anyway, so I took a nap, and then I don't even know where I was when it shut off, you guys. I'm sorry. But I have to tell you something funny about last night, because I like went back to watch the part that like where it cut off on, where I was talking about like we would like, this was before Netflix, I said, so I'll talk about that in just a second. But I filmed the videos till like about 8:15, then Alex was coming home, then I watched the video back, and then he came home, and he started watching RuPaul's Drag Race, and that was at like 9:15, 9:30, and I just kind of sat there and watched it with him and relaxed, or I could watch that show 3 times in a row. And then I went downstairs and did my live stream, and he was like in and out of, he's worked so hard this week, he was like in and out of sleep on the couch. But what was funny about last night was my ex and I, you know, this was before Netflix, and so on weekends a lot we would go to Best Buy. God, this seems like so long ago. And we would buy like, typically reality shows, and we would buy like a whole season. So we bought like America's Next Top Model, Amazing Race, Survivor, and we would buy the whole season, and then like over the course of a weekend, we would just watch them all back to back. And it was so fun. It's like funny now that like, I find that I don't have a lot of time to watch TV shows. Although in the last couple days I've been reading a lot. Like I finished, well, I'll talk about my book stuff in a second, but so we would watch like an entire, that's how we got started watching Lost, because everybody was talking about it, so we just went and bought the first season. But we did that, we did it with Anna Nicole, The Simple Life, because we had already watched that, so we watched it again. We bought the DVDs, but we would do like reality shows and just watch the whole season back to back. On shows like The Amazing Race and America's Next Top Model, it was really fun, because it was like, you know, you could kind of like get excited about who was winning and stuff like that. But I don't know if those shows are on Netflix or not, are they? Like Survivor and Amazing Race. But that would be kind of fun. Maybe Alex and I will do that. Maybe we'll get an Amazing Race or something like that from Best Buy. Alex and I, like a year ago, we watched that Making of a Murderer. I think it's on HBO. Now it's on Netflix. I saw it on Netflix the other night. But we watched the whole thing. I had watched the first episode. And so we got like, I was watching the second episode. He hadn't watched any of it. And I was like 10 minutes into the second episode. And he was like, this is really good. And I go, well, let's go back and watch the first episode so you can see it. He was like, no, I don't need to watch the first episode. I was like, you need to watch the first episode. So we went back and we watched the first episode, and we just like kept on watching. He's like, do you want to watch another one? Do you want to watch another one? Do you want to watch another one? And we started it at like noon on like a Sunday, and we ended up just watching the whole thing that day. That was so fun. We got pizzas and just hung out with the dogs all day. It's like days like that with my husband that I love, you know, where you just hang out, you don't have to do anything, and you just, blah. I love those days. Don't you love those days? Those days are so much fun. So, yeah, that's right. Okay, the book stuff. Well, I've been trying to finish this stupid, it's not stupid, but Raggedy Ann and Andy. And it's a book that my aunt and uncle gave to me when I was a little kid, because my grandma took my cousin Caroline and I to go see the movie. And for some reason I got like real infatuated with this movie. And it's the musical version of it. So this was the book adaptation. It was so bad, you guys. It really was. And it was only 90 pages, but I was literally dragging through it. So the other night I sat down and I was like on page 35, 36 or something, and I just made myself finish it. I just sat down the other night and just finished the whole thing in like a half an hour. And then last night on Audible, I finished The Flight Attendant by Chris Bojalhan. I looked it up today how to pronounce it. Now I can't believe that I can't remember it. But anyway, it was actually ended up being pretty good. It's definitely more of a thriller than a mystery. It's very much like an espionage kind of thriller. But it was really good if you're looking for something like that. It also has elements of like The Woman in the Window. All of these books now are writing female blackout alcoholic characters, and it's a little too much for me. It's like, it's kind of overkill. They're doing it in so many books, But I thought it was good. It really picked up in like the last, let's say, quarter of the book. It got really good. And there were some like kind of Alfred Hitchcock kind of moments. There was also some kind of unfair moments. My beard is really itching me today. I don't know why, if it's long or what, but I need to, like, itching the inside of my nose. But there were some like characters that like turned, and I don't know. It was like, I don't want to spoil it for anybody that's going to watch or read it, but like, I could very much see it as a movie, though. I could really see it as a movie. But there were some ways that it was kind of unfair, honestly, because you didn't, I don't like that when it's like, there's a nun in the book, and in the last 2 pages you realize that the nun is the murderer, but she never gave you like any kind of like suggestion that she was a murderer through the whole book. Like, I don't like that. And my book club, Peter's Book Club, starts on April 15th, and we're going to read all pop culture books. And the first book that we're going to read is My Sweet Audrina by V.C. Andrews. And the second book that we're going to read is Heaven by V.C. Andrews. Now, My Sweet Audrina is a standalone. It's not part of a series. But Heaven is part of a 5-book series. So, depending on how much we get into Heaven and we like it, will dictate what we read. If we read a sequel to it, or if we continue to go on, or if we just read that and then move on to something else. It has been since my senior year in high school that I've read these books. I don't really remember them at all. So I'm really excited to read them. And then I think like some of the other books that I'm going to put on there are like Lucky by Jackie Collins. I think I'm going to do a Elmore Leonard book. I think I'm going to do I think I'm actually gonna do this one book by J.T. Leroy, and it was called Sarah, and it's about this transgender lot lizard. That's what she called him in her book. But the reason why I think this would be an interesting book for us to read for the book club is that you can Google all the articles about it, but J.T. Leroy was supposedly a 16-year-old boy or something like that wrote this like very intricate, intellectual, but way off center books. Like The Heart is Deceitful Among All Things was another one. They made that one into a movie. It was so out there. It was so bizarre. And Sarah. Well, they found out later, it was exposed, it was like this PR stunt, and it was actually like this 35-year-old woman, and I think she was like she worked in publishing or something like that. And so like the whole thing was like this like PR stunt, I think. So anyway, there's this whole like drama that goes on behind those books, which I think is really interesting. If you've ever seen those movies like Gummo, which I love the movie Gummo, but it's just so weird. And like it reminds me of those kind of books. Like just very different characters, very strange people, and yet they're the strange kind of people that I think exist in all of our lives that, you know, work at the gas station or live down the street. You know what I mean? Like, and I love that. I love that characterization when you take the normal and you turn it into the absurd. I love that. I'm thinking about doing Valley of the Dolls. I think it's by Jacqueline Suzanne. Because I don't want it to be all books that I've read before. I don't want it to be all rereads, you know? I'm not big on rereading books anyway. So I don't know. We'll see. I'm excited about it. I'm super excited, and we're going to do live streams with it too. So if you want to participate in the live streams, you can. We're going to have like a book discussion live stream. Oh, and yeah. If you have suggestions for what books you think would be good for that, leave it in the comment section below. I just don't want it to be like, as much as I love Oprah and I love her book club and all that kind of stuff, I don't want it to be like that. I don't want it to be like, you know, we're going to read, I don't know, some of the books that have impacted me the most in my life, like Lucky, like Lace by Shirley Conrad, some of those books were like, I just loved reading a book about really great characters. You know, maybe we'll go back and read, like, Kiss the Girls by James Patterson, because it's one of his only good books, I think. You know, I don't know. We'll just go back and look at pop culture books and things like that and see. I think it'll be fun, though. Talk to somebody that reads it. Like, Tanya's actually really good for that because she reads, oh, maybe she'll do the book club. She won't read My Sweet Audrina, though. She doesn't like anything scary. Tanya hates horror movies. She doesn't like anything scary. She was so excited, though, about the eyelashes and that we're going to do the entire, like, video for that. I'm really excited about that. We haven't decided when or how. We've like, one of the things that we're really struggling with is where to do it, you know? Like where to do it that will actually, we have like a bathroom mirror or whatever. So we'll see, we'll figure it out. Not in any hurry. My plan tomorrow is to get up and thank you. My plan is to get up tomorrow in the late afternoon and go eat lunch with, well, not late afternoon, like 4. To get up at like noonish and go eat with Alex. I never get up that late. God, I wish I could sleep till 3 or 4. Do you know, like, when you're in high school and people could literally, like, sleep till 3 or 4? Like, I have never understood that. Like, I sleep late, but I don't sleep that late. I never really sleep past, like, I mean, I'm not going to say that I haven't. There's been, like, a few Sundays that Alex and I have slept really late. Like, if we've, like, been going, you know, for a whole weekend or something like that, but not very often. But we're going to get up about 12 and then go eat brunch somewhere. There's this, like, new hotel right by our house, and it's adorable. It's where we went and had sushi with our friends, and oh, my allergies or whatever it is driving me crazy tonight. So oh, I know, I wanted to address something really quick. Since this came up in the comment sections of my video yesterday, I was really surprised that so many people had something to say about this, but it came up in I really wish I had a different chapstick. I have, like, this, I like this, but it's kind of greasy, and then I have this one, and I don't. This is not my favorite. But somebody commented on my video yesterday and said, I already addressed this in my live stream tonight, so I'm just going to address it on here, and we can just be done with the whole issue. Somebody said in the comment section of my video, when did you start smoking again? And so I started, like, reading through the comments, and they were whatever. I said this in my live stream, so I'm going to say it on here too. I am, like, so incredibly transparent with my life. Like, one of the things that surprises me the most, like, honest to God, okay? One of the things that surprises me the most is when somebody comes to me and they'll say, oh, I read this about you, or is this true about you? And I'm like, I have 4 channels. I live my life as an open book. I am completely transparent, you know? And so if I haven't talked about it on here, there's not, like, any big mystery to it. Does that make sense? Because I talk about literally everything. And if you consistently watch my vlogs, you know that to be true, okay? There's no way, and there just is no way, I don't even have to defend this, that I could actually script these. So when people say that, I'm like, you think I, like, really deliberately think about what I'm gonna put in here? Like, seriously, I can't even remember what I'm gonna talk about when the camera cuts off, you know? But anyway, I think that typically people that are always looking for others to be liars are typically people that are liars themselves. So when somebody constantly believes that other people are lying, it's because they're liars. That has been what is taught to me in life, is, you know, that they just can't ever believe that somebody would be totally forthright and honest about their life, because they're not. So, circling back around to the smoking issue. Yes, I smoke from time to time. I am a 45-year-old man, and if I want to enjoy a cigarette, I'm going to enjoy a cigarette. I used to be a very, very heavy smoker. And when I say heavy smoker, I mean heavy smoker. Daily heavy smoker. I do not smoke like that anymore at all. I smoke typically when I go to the casino. I smoke on vacation. And I smoke sometimes with my friends. I didn't feel... I was kind of surprised it even came up to the length of 30 comments, honestly, because I was surprised that people questioned my sobriety as a result of it and said that I was not a positive person because I enjoy a cigarette from time to time. What? Like, I was really surprised by that. So, if I have, if you feel that I have let you down, and you're disappointed in me, and you no longer can watch my videos anymore because I enjoy a cigarette from time to time, which I've mentioned in my vlogs. If you watch my vlogs carefully, I have said that I smoke when I go to the casino. I have said that I smoke on vacation, and I think this whole thing stemmed from the fact that Alex, like, did a Snapchat, and I think I was in the background smoking a cigarette or something like that. So there was also a question about, is it even legal? I don't break the law, so yes, it's legal. In Miami, you can smoke at all of the bars and the restaurants and things like that. And to be honest with you, almost everywhere you go, everybody is smoking down there. So you might want to take your concerns up with the city of Miami. But like, I just wanted to address that because people were like, oh my God, he's kept this from us. I didn't feel like I was keeping it from you because I didn't realize, I don't even like, I'm so confused by the whole thing, to be honest with you guys, because I'm like, I thought I had mentioned it on here, but like, I'm not that kind of smoker that I felt like it was something that I needed to talk about on a regular basis, if that makes sense. I don't know, like, I don't even know how to explain it. It's like, I was kind of baffled by it, honestly. So yeah, but always feel free to ask me any questions, you guys. Like I said, I'm an open book. I try to be an open book on here, and you know, if there are things that you want to know about me that I haven't talked about, if there are things about, I mean, I talk about, I think this is the thing, and this isn't about the smoking, you know, like, I've never smoked on camera on here, and I'll tell you the reasons why, because I think it's a bit trashy to smoke on YouTube, honestly, and it's not like I'm super proud to be a smoker, you know what I mean? But like, yeah, I like to have a cigarette from time to time. It's just not that deep, honestly. But what surprises me when people feel like I've lied to them, it's like, the weird thing is, I don't even really have a filter for what I talk about on here anymore, because I've talked about everything. I mean, I've talked about my marriage. I've talked about being in marriage counseling. Alex and I, you know, talked about our marriage not doing very well a year ago, and now how marriage counseling has saved our lives. We just talked about that in our video that we did on my main channel. You know, I've talked about my addiction. I've talked about my recovery. I've talked about my relationship with my mother, my father, my stepmother. I've talked about my mother's sickness. I've talked about her death. I've talked about each of my exes. I've talked about my sexual behaviors from the past. I've talked about, you know, all of the illicit drug use that I've done. I've talked about being a drug dealer in the past. I've talked about not being a good person to people in the past and how I didn't treat people right. I've talked about friendships that I've lost and friendships that I've gained. I've talked about my friendships with other YouTubers. I've talked about my aunt's death. I showed it on my vlog. I've talked about my aunt's sickness. I've talked about my uncle's sickness. I've talked about my relationship with my cousin. I've talked about, you know, issues that I had growing up and being bullied. What have I not talked about? Like, that's where I get frustrated, is when people say I'm lying. I'm like, I almost, like, there is not a YouTuber out there that has shared as much as they have, that I have on video, period. And I do that, okay, because I love to share my life with anybody that will listen, quite frankly, but also because I don't want anybody out there to feel like they're alone at all. And this relationship that I have with you guys, okay, where you know so much about my life and I share so much with you, I love, okay? And I will never get scared away from sharing about my life. I just won't. You know, a lot of people in situations like this, you know, where people, oh, you're a liar, he's a liar, whatever, would say, well, then I'm just not going to share anything with you anymore, you know, or I'm not going to. No, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to make the people that enjoy watching my videos suffer because a few people, like, don't like me. Like, that's ridiculous. Like, I spent too much of my life being concerned about the people that wanted to keep me down, that did not like me, that I'm not willing to do that anymore. So, here's the deal. I won't keep making my videos, and I am going to continue to enjoy making videos, and I'm going to continue to interact with you guys, sometimes in the comment sections, not very often, because I try to keep up with the rest of social media, and I am going to love every minute of what I do. And if you guys have questions about my life, then leave it in the comment section below, or direct message me, or tweet me, you know, and I'll do the best I can at either addressing it in a video or, you know, answering you one-on-one. But there really isn't anything that I don't want to talk about. I mean, there's really nothing that I would want to talk about. What do y'all want me to talk about? Masturbation? I mean, like, seriously, it's like, at what point do you draw the line? Like, you know, I mean, I haven't had any major, you know, surgeries, but I've talked about my, you know, epilepsy. I really don't, like, it really baffles me when, like, I see, like, tweets or statements and people be like, Peter Monn's a liar. I'm like, about what? Like, I don't even understand it, you know? So, it is what it is. And I'm going to keep on doing my gig because I love this. And I hope you guys enjoy it too. There was something else I wanted to say with that. Now I can't remember what it was. Something that came up in my live stream. Oh, I know what I was going to say. This is kind of like, let's address a few issues video tonight. I can't promise that I will always be good about this, okay? But I got on my video the other night, the night of the stream, that it is the sunglass haul video, I think. I got on that video, and I'm not, listen, okay? Y'all know I love constructive criticism, okay? I love people having conversations and feeling free to have those conversations in the comment sections of my videos, especially when they're people that I know have watched my videos for a while, and I've seen your names and things like that, right? Like, I don't have any issue with that. You know, I don't even have any issue with people being disappointed in me because they don't like the fact that I smoke a cigarette. I understand that, okay? Like, I don't have issues with that. But what I don't like is when people that don't watch my videos regularly come in and they troll. Now, if you don't really know what trolling means, it means you come in and you just start leaving one after another nasty comment on people's videos. And that video, there was somebody that kept on leaving nasty comments. And I wasn't going to touch them. I just was going to leave them there. And that's why the smoky ones I left up. Because I'm like, I want you guys to be able to have the conversation you want to have. You know, it's your comment section, not mine. So, but this person left a really nasty comment, okay? Questioning, first of all, one of the things I really dislike about people just in life is when you tell somebody a fact about you and they turn it and they use it against you. Do you know what I mean? Like, if you, like, and this was not what it was, but I'm just going to use this as an example because this has happened to me in my life before. You know, if you say to somebody, like, I really struggle with drugs and alcohol and I've been sober for a year, right? And then later what they do is they say, he's a nasty drug addict, he shouldn't be trusted. That's what I mean, okay? You know, like when they take the truth and they twist it, people of the lie, my mother used to talk about this all the time. She'd be like, people of the lie, don't trust them, okay? They're evil. Well, this person in there said a bunch of stuff. None of it was like any basis in reality. They really dumbed it down really quickly, you know, like. So anyway, but one of the people that follows, and I cannot for the life of me remember, so I apologize, but somebody that I know watches my videos on a regular daily basis commented back to him in a very nice way and said, hey, listen, like, we're not about all that here. You know, if you don't like Peter, then you don't have to watch here, but like, be cool about the whole thing, whatever. She was very nice about the whole thing, right? Do you remember back in the day when if people came in and they were real nasty, we'd say, do you need a hug? Do you remember that? I loved that back in the day. He turned around and called her the C word. I was like, what? And he was like, and he said in there that he doesn't watch that channel, that he came over there from my other channel. That other channel, my main channel, I cannot control. I get too many comments on there. You know, I can't keep up with the comments that I get, let alone monitoring the positive. I try to read through all the comments just to see, but the problem is I don't see all the replies to the comments because they come up in my creator app. So anyway, so she kind of like came back at him a little bit, like she wasn't going to take it, right? Well, then he did it again. And I was like, oh no, I've had enough, right? So I blocked him from my channel. So here's the deal. On my main channel, I kind of just let shit fly. It is what it is. They're drama videos. I can't control that much of it. But on my vlog, okay, where you guys are dedicated and committed to watching a video, an hour video on a daily, there are some of you that do not miss an hour a day of me at all. I mean, I am almost on a regular basis now posting an hour a day, okay? There are haters out there Y'all know who you are. I'm talking to you right now, okay? I love you for this. I love you for this, okay? That you hate me so much, you gotta watch an hour of my video every night to make sure you get the facts right. I eat that shit up, that somebody cares about me that much. I love that. Nobody cared about me back in the day. I couldn't have gotten them to watch 2 minutes, let alone an hour. But no, but for the most of you out there that are committed to watching my vlog on a daily basis of 45 minutes to an hour, right? I am not going to have you attacked in my comment section. That is bullshit. By somebody that does not come in and watch it on a regular basis and is just there to stir up trouble. I'm not doing that. And if somebody comes in and they attack one of my regular viewers on this channel, one of the wolf pack, they're going to be blocked and they're going to be asked to leave my channel. I don't like it, okay? And I'm not talking to you guys out there that are regular followers, because you know, we keep it cool over here. We keep it nice. We keep it considerate. If people have difference of opinions, people will say, hey, I appreciate that you have a difference of opinion, but, you know, think this way. It never has to get nasty. You know, I read that whole smoking thread, and it got a little, I wouldn't say heated in there, but I'd say people definitely had a difference of opinion, okay? But I was fine with what people said in there. Nobody called anybody any names. Nobody, as of the last time that I looked. Nobody got mean. Nobody said anything mean on there. You didn't have to get mean about that, you know? It's like we don't have to get mean with each other to have an opinion about anything, and that's why I love to leave the comment section open to allow people to have conversation. But I'm going to tell you, if somebody comes in, they start attacking you guys, no, that's where I draw the line. They can attack me all day long, but if they're going to attack one of you guys, no, they're going to be asked to leave right away. They're going to be done. I'm not going to have it. I'm not going to have my viewers, the wolf pack, attacked in the comment sections of my videos. I'm just not, period. I'm just not. So if you guys see that that's going on, please let me know, because sometimes I don't catch it right away. And okay, I am at 29 minutes and 40 seconds, so it's gonna stop here in like 5 seconds. So I'm going to let it cool down for a second, and I will be right back. Oh, okay. I'm getting tired. I think my head on home. I cannot sit in this car with no heat on. It's too cold. It's 31 degrees and it's like spitting snow. I'm listening to this audiobook. I don't know who it's by. It's called The Difficult Art of Fitting In, or The Dangerous Art of Fitting In, or something. It's some young adult book. I haven't listened to a young adult book in a long time, so I was like, I'm gonna listen to some of these young adult books that I downloaded. Maybe go to the library tomorrow. I haven't been to the library in forever. And I think there's like April Library Love-a-thon on BookTube is like this readathon. I need to check into it. Probably started on the 1st, so I'm like a week behind. But I think it's for the whole month of April. I don't know, I'm gonna check into it. If you're a booktuber and you're watching this, can you let me know if you know what Library Love-a-thon is? Because I'm not sure. Alex's mom had such a good time visiting his brother in San Diego. I think it's so nice, you know. Those boys love their mom so much, and my mom and Alex's mom would have got along so well. It makes me so sad sometimes, you know, like that my mom never got to have that, like, mother, you know, would that be 2 mother-in-laws that would, like, get to hang out? Like, they would have had so much fun together, and, you know, my mom loved to dance, and Hungria loves to dance, and they would have loved to, like, hang out, and, you know, my mom would have loved the culture and the food and the music and all of it. She would have been so taken with all of it. Alex and I and Melissa and Jason last night were talking, and Jason's like, oh, we are going to Ultra Music Festival next year. So we were like talking about like what hotel we're going to stay at. We think we're going to stay at the One Hotel, which is the place that we stayed at, or that we went to the last night while we were there, and we got like went to the rooftop bar and like hung out, and that hotel was really, really cool, and Alex found actually really pretty good rates for it. I want to schedule a couple of like small weekend trips through the summer just to go to some place for like 2 or 3 days. I really want to go to Seattle. We probably will go visit his brother in San Diego here at some point, because we haven't, and I've never in my life been to San Diego. Come and knock on my door, take a step that is new. Didn't Three's Company take place in San Diego? So we'll probably go out there at some point. We're definitely doing something for our birthdays. We're not sure if we're going to go back to Florida yet, or if we're going to go to like to an island, or what we're going to do. We'll see. There's that little gas station. I love that little gas station. Wish it was open. Go in there and get a little canned Coke. My grandma loved those little bottles of Coke and those little canned Coke. She always keep a bunch of canned Coke and those iced bottle, those little, you know, those little bottles of Coke. She always kept those in the refrigerator for Caroline and I. I am so happy when I'm writing. I don't even know how to explain it. Like, I was actually, today, I was working on my story collection, and like I was writing kind of like this kind of sad story. Like, I'm trying, all of the stories that are going to be in that book, because I know a lot of people that watch my channel will probably be the ones that are interested in reading it. I'm trying to find stories that either I've only told parts of, or that I haven't really talked a lot about at length or at all. And so, so that it's new, it's fresh for people that read it, you know? And, I mean, if you make it to 45, you have a lot of stories. And so I was telling this story today that was kind of like a sad story a little bit, like not really, but it was just kind of like reminiscent, you know, of like thinking about my mom and like the good times of my mom and stuff like that. And, you know, it's weird that sometimes like thinking about the happy times is what makes me sad sometimes, because I miss her. And, but while I was writing it, like I was so happy. Like, I'm so happy when I'm like creating and I'm writing and things like that, that I totally do understand why like people that love to cook and bake and do crafts and stuff, why like it makes them so happy. Because like when I'm in the middle of like doing something that I love that's creative, whether it's making videos or, you know, like writing, those are really the only two things that I do that are creative. Like, I enjoy it so much, you know? Something about this, like, you can't, I don't want to take my camera and show you, but it's like this big silos, and it looks like just like out in the middle of nowhere silos, like metal silo. For some reason, it always reminds me of that movie, Boys Don't Cry, when her and Lana, when Tina Brandon and Lana are in the car. I think they're in the car, they're outside in the grass or whatever, and they're looking up at like that electrical plant. It always reminds me of that part. My clothes smell so good. This sweatshirt, like, was like the first load of wash I did in our new washer and dryer, and it was like folded down in the basement, and I grabbed it and threw it on when I left. And Alex actually, he was like, because he went and bought a bunch of like laundry detergent and stuff, and he was like, well, what do you usually buy? Because he was at Costco, and he was like, do you need me to buy anything? I said, well, we don't have any laundry detergent if you're wanting to do laundry. And so he bought a bunch, and he was like, well, what kind do you usually buy? Like, you know, I said, well, I always buy Gain. I said, but you can buy that Kirkland stuff there. It's probably pretty good. Kirkland is Costco's brand. I have found that the Kirkland products are just as good as anything else. Like, their toilet paper is just like Charmin. Their paper towels are just like Bounty. They're really good. So he got Kirkland laundry detergent and fabric softener sheets. It smells so good, you guys. I'm like really impressed. And he got like 6 boxes of fabric softener or something, 3 boxes, 4 boxes, I don't know, it's a lot. It came to like all together, and it was like $15. It was really cheap. And then the laundry detergent was like $15, and it's like 100 pods or something. So we got a good deal on it. That kind of stuff is really always worth it at Costco. What's not worth it are like, I don't feel like the appliances, the TVs, not like we buy that stuff anyway there, but like, I mean, who needs a family size jar of, you know, the ketchup, you know, unless you have 20 family members, which we don't. So we don't really often buy like food items there. We do buy a lot of bathroom stuff there, like soap, sometimes razors, deodorant, mouthwash. I get a leave there. We get all of our prescriptions there. My epilepsy medicine and PP's medicines are really cheap at Costco. Their pharmacy is really cheap. Always looking for a deal. Oh, well, listen, I think I'm going to get off here, and I'm going to listen to a little bit of my audiobook and drive home. Snuggle into bed with my husband and my dogs. I get like a good night's sleep time. I get like 9 hours of sleep. It's like good night's sleep. Anyway, I love you guys, and yeah, I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.